Hello everyone, I hope that you're doing amazing and welcome to the channel. Terry is finally on Street Fighter 6 and today we're going to be looking at a quick guide so you can pick up Terry and start enjoying him and playing him without getting too worried about doing everything perfectly. So why should you play Terry Bogard on Street Fighter 6? Terry Bogard, it's basically sort of a mix in between a rushdown character and a shuttle character, but he's not really that in particular. He's a very versatile character and he excels on a specific thing, and that is the mid-range. When Terry is in the mid-range, he basically has a ton of tools to both control neutral and skip it. So if you like that type of character in which you can basically overwhelm the opponent on a specific space on the screen and then get on top of him and basically try to win, Terry is probably for you. And it is very easy to see why this character is like this. You just have to look at his special moves. You can see, for example, Vern Knuckle, a clear neutral skip ability that can even be plus on block, which is insane. You have Power Wave, which is some sort of projectile, but that in the mid-range it has a specific option in which is faster and bigger. And you also have something like Crack Shoot, in which case you can use as an anti-air if people try to basically disrespect your power in the mid-range. So Terry has a ton of things to do to control that space, you know? And when you start controlling that space, you start winning playing Terry Bogard. So let's start by trying to use and understand Terry's special moves, okay? So first is Vern Knuckle. When you use Vern Knuckle, you're basically trying to get on top of your opponent, but you have to be worried about only hitting the enemy with the tip of it, because if you do that, you are basically potentially plus on block. If you do Vern Knuckle and you're too close to the enemy, you're going to be negative on block, and that's going to be their turn. So prioritize, only hitting people with the tip of the move. If you follow this rule, you can basically neutral skip every round and win by just using this sort of like mid-range monster special move. And your opponent's gonna start crying because he's playing Street Fighter 6 and trying to be super smart about it, and you're just going to be doing Vern Knuckle into mix, Vern Knuckle into mix, and you're gonna win. Next we have Power Wave. So this is a very simple move. Like the light version is basically this sort of like full screen projectile. The medium version is the mid-range monster version of the projectile, and the heavy version, it's an up close version that can be used to be plus and block and also to extend some combos, but we're not going to necessarily look at that on this video. Just try to use Power Wave to control space again, just like Vern Knuckle. In the long range you can use the light version, so you can control the space to get into the mid-range, and when you are in that mid-range you can start using the medium version to condition the opponent so that if he starts jumping, you can anti-air them and then have Oki to attack them again. After that we have Crack Shoot. Crack Shoot is mainly like a combo fodder move, but it is also a great anti-air tool, so do not sleep on it, okay? It is a lot easier to input down back and a button than to input a DP and a button, so don't forget about it because it can probably save you in a lot of situations when the opponent is trying to jump on you all the time. And when it comes to combos, with Crack Shoot you can basically use it as fodder to keep combos going, and it's probably going to be a key thing on like the combo theory for Terry on the game. We also have Power Charge, which is basically this tackle, the classic tackle from Terry, and it is again mostly a combo fodder move. The light version works on basically almost every connection that you can do. The medium version is kind of tricky. I'm still not sure about how to use it, but it can make you do longer combos. And the heavy version, you can basically do it after heavy attacks, and it goes for basically the longest easy combos that you can do that I'm gonna show you right here. And finally we have Rising Tackle, which is basically Terry's DP. It is both useful for combos, as an anti-air, as a wake-up option. The EX version has invincibility, so it is like a true DP basically. So use Rising Tackle, as much as you can, as long as you don't get punished for it. And well, of course, all of these special moves have EX versions, but since it is day one, it is not that obvious how to use the EX versions. So keep that in mind, please, and do not get like too stressed about it. In the future, there's going to be a lot more clarity about how to use the X versions of the moves, so we can explore that later. I also forgot to say it, but there is a light version of Burn Knuckle that is basically a different move, which is called Quick Burn, and it does have some special, properties in which it's a second hit of the move. It's an overhit, so you can use it in some way as a mix-up, but I don't think that it will be that good, since it is very obvious when the move goes out that the second hit is going to be the overhit. So I wouldn't be too excited about using it as a mix-up. Sorry. Now let's move into some unique attacks. So Terry has your beautiful overhead out of Drive Rush, which is great. I don't know if there is like huge combos out of it. I just got this one, which is fairly short, but it does put you in an amazing situation because you can throw everyone after or mix them. So it is actually pretty good. And Terry also has some very interesting target combos, because they lead to very long interactions or combos, which is not that common. So let's check them out. First, we have Power Shoot, which is basically this, punch and kick sequence in which after Terry can go ahead and do Power Dunk. So you basically get like a very easy combo for free. So I would honestly use this a lot if you can get your opponent to, get hit by this, because it's free damage and free Oki without doing any inputs and any sort of complicated, sequence. So it is easy and pretty good. We also have what I think is the best target combo, which is Fire Kick. When you do Fire Kick, it can actually be Drive Rush, or it can be Special Cancel. So you can get a big combo out of it, and it's just a target combo. So use it a lot, okay? Especially because it starts with a low. So it's basically a mix in many ways. So please use it because it's pretty good. And finally, we also have Passing Sway, in which, Terry does his Fatal Fury thing and goes back into the screen. And it has two follow-ups. It has a medium punch follow-up and a medium kick follow-up. The medium punch is basically a punch, and the medium kick is sort of a cancel. So you can mix people up out of the Passing Sway, which is pretty good because they're gonna have to respect it, or they're gonna get hit and then grab and then hit and then grab. So it is a very tricky sequence for the opponent to guess what is going to happen. It's going to keep people guessing and basically make them desperate and start pressing buttons when they shouldn't, and that's when you're stuck winning. And finally, we have supers. So Terry has 3 supers. Okay, he has Buster Wolf, which is basically like a combo fodder level 1 super that it's also useful as a neutral skip tool because you can go through some fireballs. Then we have Power Geyser, which is your pure damage super. You can do like a very strong version of Power Geyser, which does extra damage. So take that into consideration. And lastly, we have Rising Fang, which is your level 3 super, your big damage super, and your Dragon Punch, or Invincible super. So finally, as a last thing, I wanted to add this, which is 5MK. It's a great normal. You should be using it a lot. So please press it to control, that close range and basically win some interactions to start pressuring your opponent. So that is for this video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it and I hope that it was useful. The idea of this video is to just get you started with Terry. We're probably going to do an advanced guide later. And we're also going to be playing Terry a lot and probably uploading videos, of some ranked games with him. So I hope that you stay for that, like and subscribe, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.